Jazzcast Pros.
Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Healing Her Within. Today, I am going to be sharing a little bit more about my travels to Costa Rica as I sat for the very first time with grandmother Ayahuasca. And I spoke as to my why and my decision to sit with grandmother Ayahuasca a few episodes ago. So I will make sure that I have that episode linked on the show notes in the event that you would like to learn more about what grandmother Ayahuasca is, plant medicine, and a little bit more as to my reason why I said yes to this. Welcome to Healing Her Within, the podcast for women who are ready to break free, rise up, and reclaim every part of themselves. I'm your host, Maryann Rivera-Dannert, certified life and confidence coach, author, speaker, and a woman who's walked through the fire and came out fearless. So first, let's start with, I have been following Stephanie Burgos and Lauren Elise Love for probably 7 or 8 years. And I won't talk too much about that because that is in the previous episode. But seeing their journey, seeing their growth and things like that, their transformation, I have been led to go down this path. But as with things that we're not too familiar with, or things that we were raised believing were bad, evil, and things like that, I kind of pushed it aside. But that calling just kept on coming. That feeling, that intuition that this is something that I am meant to do was just getting louder and louder and louder. And there's this place in Florida that was like a church where I lived at that I wanted to do it back in 2017, 2018. They even had a short episode on a show on Netflix about it and things like that. So I was even more drawn to it. But for whatever reason, the universe did not make that happen. Fast forward to 2025, I'm still following Lauren and Stephanie, and I learned that they actually facilitate and teach and host plant medicine retreats. And as women that I respect and admire and aspire to be like one day, I was like, heck yeah, I have to make this happen. So long story short, I signed up first for an upgrade retreat, which was a half-day retreat in upstate New York. And I laugh because it's actually not upstate. If you're from upstate New York, you know what upstate New York is. So it's actually downstate New York because it's closer to New York City. And I signed up for it, and the calling just kept on getting stronger and louder. So I spoke to Lauren and said yes. And she told me that the moment that I decided to say yes, that it was like a for sure yes, not a calling or something that I wanted to do, but an actual acceptance, an actual yes, to pay attention to the signs, to the universe, to source, to God, to grandmother Ayahuasca, because I was going to start seeing like immediately. And let me tell you, that is so true. So fast forward, July 20th was the day I was supposed to be leaving at 6 o'clock in the morning, catching my flight from Rochester to Newark. And then from Newark, I was going to fly to Costa Rica, to San Jose. So my suitcase is all packed. I'm excited, putting my intention out there, which I already had set, but just sitting more with it, just getting grounded. When I get a text message from United Airlines, it was probably like 9:30 p.m. Saturday. So the day before I was leaving. So as I looked at my phone and saw the word delay, my heart sunk. I immediately felt like my body just got numb. But then immediately I felt a shift. Immediately I heard something say, don't get frustrated about things you cannot control. What can you do in this situation? What can you control? What are your options? So immediately, because I needed silence in like that 15, 20 seconds, I told my husband, can you please turn the volume off on the TV because I have to focus. And he asked me what was wrong. I told him, one moment, I need a second. So immediately I'm looking at other flights that can get me there that night, Saturday, and I would just stay at the airport, or first thing Sunday morning to get me to Newark by 8 a.m. because my flight to Costa Rica was leaving at 8:20 a.m. There were absolutely no flights that would get me there. And here's the thing, just a quick pause on that. The reason why I needed to get to Costa Rica on Sunday, it was because the package included your transportation from the hotel that you were staying at to the jungle the next morning, Monday morning. And if you missed the shuttle, you had to find your own way. First of all, I'm out the country. I don't know this country. I've never been there before. I'm not doing that. I'm not risking it. I need to be in Costa Rica Sunday because Monday morning at 8 a.m., I will be on that bus. Couldn't find any flights, so I'm still getting a little anxious. Immediately got on the phone with United. There was nothing, like no other alternatives to get me there to either Costa Rica Sunday or even Monday before 8 a.m. There were absolutely no flights through any connections, nothing. So I told her to cancel because I knew, listen, I needed to get there. And if you were not going to get me there, you need to refund my money. So I told them, go ahead and cancel that first leg of the flight and I will get to Newark some way, somehow. Again, I'm still reminding myself and literally talking to myself, you are okay. You are safe. God is in control. God knew this very moment was going to be here. This is a test. That's what I kept on telling myself. This is a test. What are you going to do? How are you going to handle it? I called my sister because my sister loves driving. She has a transportation business. I will tag her information on the show notes because she will do what needs to get done. I text her. First I text her and then I called her. Sis, I need you. I hope that you're in Rochester because I need you to drive me to Newark now because it's a 5 to 5.5 hour drive. And I needed to make sure that I was in that airport in Newark no later than 7 a.m. She was like, okay, I got you. Great. Let me go take a quick shower, got everything, got myself calmed down, changed, got myself ready for my long distance driving and my flight outfit because listen, your girl has to be comfortable. So if it's a long drive, which it was for just over 5 hours and it was going to be a long flight, I had to have my compression socks on. They're not cute. They're not fashionable, but comfort, listen, that's number one. So I changed, got everything ready, updated my husband on everything that was happening, updated my other 2 kids that were not at the house because my middle one lives with us, updated the other 2 on what was happening, got everything ready, updated the ladies in the group that my flight was canceled, but we were good. We were good. So my sister came and picked me up and drove me 5 hours and 15 minutes to Newark. We made it there just after 5 a.m. Hugged, kissed, thanked her, went through. Thank God for TSA and thank God for Clear, which I have both because I just bypassed all the lines, went straight through, checked in. I don't check in bags. That's a big no-no. I use carry-on. And yes, even to a trip that was just over a week long. So I went straight through, went to the United Club, checked in for the, next 2.5 hours or so. And immediately I just felt peace. I felt peace because had this event happened 3 months prior, all hell would have broken loose. I would have been livid. I would probably have been cursing out everyone at United, whether it was on the phone or the chat, text, whatever. I would have been livid. But it all worked out. I made it, got to Costa Rica, got there on Sunday because my flight from Newark to Costa Rica was on time. It was smooth. It was perfect. It was great. Everything was awesome. Got to the hotel, checked in, connected with one of the ladies. We went to the mall, got some lunch, and then caught up with the other ladies. We met at the pool, hung out, just, kind of basically met because even though we had a Zoom call meeting with all of us, meeting in person is very different than when you meet on this little, screen, this little pictures that, 2 by 2 inches, big. So just meeting face to face with the ladies, it was absolutely magical and beautiful. Fast forward to Monday morning, we all meet up in the front in the lobby. The bus arrives at 8 a.m. We get on the bus and we make our travels to the jungle. It was about 4 hours long. We stopped, I want to say 2 or 3 times. We stopped 2 for potty breaks because we had to use the bathroom. We stopped 4 times, I think, because twice it was to go to the bathroom. 1 was to buy some fruit. And then once was at a crocodile or alligator bridge. And there was like crocodiles there. So we were taking like pictures, videos, and things like that. We made it up to where the retreat was going to be. And then the next big thing happened. So it happened like raining overnight, not too much, but it was raining. And so the roads were wet. So you go from asphalt road to when you make this one turn in towards the jungle where the retreat was going to be held. It's like rocks, gravel, like dirt, no asphalt, sliding all over the place. It was scary AF. Not only was that part scary, the fact that we're going up, the bus had, there was 12 of us plus the 2 drivers. So 14 passenger bus with all of our suitcases. And it's a kind of like a one-way road up, not really one way, but literally like 1 car at the time. Like 2 cars cannot fit on that road. I'm not sure what the driver was thinking because he made a wide ass turn and the front of the bus on the left-hand side goes to the side of the road. And we're like, oh shit. So everyone had to get off the bus. We're like trying to figure out like how far are we from where the retreat is. He's like, it's literally like right up the hill, just up the hill. So some of the girls were like, we're walking. So they got their suitcases and they walked up. And I think they got their suitcases. I can't remember. I know some of them walked up. He was like, wait, I need some of y'all to go back on the bus, but stand on the right-hand side and kind of like shift your weight to kind of like move the van. Now, let me tell you, just to give you a visual, okay? So on the left-hand side, there's a like dirt wall there. On the right-hand side is a drop. There's no fence. There's no posts. There's no trees. It's just a drop. Sir, you want us to do what now? You want us to shift our weight and hopefully get that van moving. Listen, one of the girls I remember said, I didn't come all the way to Costa Rica to die off a cliff. And we're like, wait, don't put that into the universe because we're not going to die. So thankfully, it all worked out. He was able to get the van going. We hopped on, went up the road, unloaded, and that's where the magic happened. That's when transformation started. It was absolutely amazing. I'm not going to go into too much details. Actually, I'm not really going to go into any details right now as far as sitting actually with Grandmother Aya. I'm just talking about the before and after travel experience. So here it is, Monday. It was shortly after, I think it was close to 1:00. We all, we are told who our roommates are going to be. We are told like what cabins we're going to be in. They take our luggages. We make our way up. And let me tell you something. The universe definitely has a way of just being funny in a way. And I told my roommate, because it was in our house, there was 4 of us. There was 2 bedrooms. So it was 2 in one room and 2 in another room. So I told my roommate, Emily, I was like, you know what? The universe is funny. She was like, what do you mean? I said, because here I am huffing and puffing. This was probably like day 4 or 5. Like here I am literally huffing and puffing because you're going up, you're going down, you're going sideways, like all over the place. And the universe, God, Source, Grandmother Ayahuasca, our teachers, Stephanie and Lauren, put me in a room, in a house with 3, not 1, not 2, but 3 women whom 2 own a gym. The other one started her entrepreneurial business in the fitness world. And they put me in a room with all these women when I am the most unhealthy, like out of shape person ever. My body was challenged. My body was way out of its comfort zone. My body was doing things and experiencing things that I have never had done before. But the beauty of it is that I survived. I did not die. And when I was talking to one of the teachers, Stephanie, she said that they're probably a mirror to me as to where I'm not taking care of my body. And it wasn't in like a derogatory or, shameful manner. It was out of love, because it's so true. So many times I've started like, okay, I'm going to get back into my fitness journey. I'm going to start working out. I'm going to start eating healthier. And it will probably last for like maybe a week, tops 10 days, maybe 2 weeks. And then I will fall off the wagon again, because it's easier to stay in your comfort zone. It's easier to stay in what you know than it is to just take that leap of faith and step into the unknown and do, yes, what started out as being challenging and hard, but before you know it, your body gets used to it. Your body's going to be craving nutritious food. Your body's going to be craving exercise. And here I was doing things that I was like, oh my God, this is so difficult. But the magic happened when every single lady and even our shaman was like, slow down. Who are you rushing for? Listen to your body. This is not a marathon. Take your time. We're not in a rush. We're not going anywhere. You take as much time as you need. Some of them even like held my hand as I'm going up. Some of them held my hand as I'm going down. Our shaman like held my hand numerous times, especially as I was making my way to the falls, because there was a waterfall like 10 minutes away from the retreat center, which was a 10-minute walk, not a drive, like a 10-minute walk. So we walked over there, and the walk itself wasn't bad, but it was once you got to the fall, because it was kind of like a river. There's like a little baby falls, and you got to like climb and get like all fours. Listen, if y'all know me, y'all know I love the water, but I don't know how to swim. I am terrified of the water. And when you add rocks to them, listen, that was hard. That was hard. But the beautiful thing is that I did it. There are some pictures on my Facebook. There are pictures in my Instagram, and it was beautiful. It was a beautiful moment. So fast forward to Saturday, we clean up our room. We pack up our stuff. We head back to the hotel. Some of us were staying back at the hotel because we weren't leaving till Sunday. Some of the ladies were heading back Saturday, back to the States. So we get back to the hotel. My roommate and I, that I shared the room with at the hotel, we will go out to dinner, went out to dinner, and we literally like just slept all day. Like we slept. The bus came to pick us up at 6:30. By the time we like got everything packed and we headed out, it was 7. So we made it back by the airport, which I think was like 10:30 or so. So it was a little faster. We didn't make as many stops. I think we stopped once. Then we caught a different shuttle from the airport to the hotel, and we took showers and we ate dinner, and then we just slept, because again, it was a lot of energy work. It was a lot of transformation. It was a lot of healing. Sunday morning, we get up, we take the shuttle to the airport. We check into our flights. She was heading to Orlando. I'm heading to New York. I'm heading to New York. And our flights are on time. We kiss goodbye. We see each other later. Wish each other safe travels. I get to New York. Get on the flight. I'm watching, my movies and sleeping, looking out the window, just reflecting on everything that had happened that week prior. Put my phone on airplane mode, take a nap. Next thing I know, flight attendants are saying, put your seatbelts on, getting ready to land. The captain comes up with his, message on there. We land. I turn my phone on, and my flight to Rochester, you guessed it, my dear friends, has been canceled. Not delayed, canceled. So my flight was supposed to leave at 9:30 p.m. By the time I get out of customs, through all that was probably about an hour, like 45 minutes to an hour. It was a long ass line. It was probably about close to 4:00 at this time. So I go to United. There's absolutely nothing that they can do. There's no flights even to Buffalo. United claims that it was not their doing, that it was the FAA controlling how many flights come out of, go into like the airspace in Rochester. And because it was not United's control or fault or whatever, they were only offering me a 10% off discount at a hotel. What in the little hell am I supposed to do with 10%? That does not even cover taxes. So I immediately, connect with my kids and with my husband. I now again start to feel, have you watched the movie, The Incredibles, the superheroes, when baby Jack like just catches on flames and his body's like fire? That was me. Like immediately my body caught on fire, and I just quickly reminded myself once again, you are safe. What can you control? Do not get upset over things that you have no control over. You have options. Focus. You are safe. Like I literally kept on repeating these words to myself because again, I felt like I was being tested. Like you just left the jungle, these huge transformations, these huge shifts, and here you are back in the States and everything is falling apart. And I'm like, nope, this is not going to happen. What are my options? I checked for other airlines. Nothing was coming to Rochester that day, which was Sunday. United had changed my flight to Monday, 10:30 p.m. Mind you, right now is probably after 4 p.m. on Sunday. So over 24 hours, and they were only going to give me 10% of hotel. When I tell you I will probably never fly United again, I probably will not fly United Airlines again. The customer service, the lady at the desk was absolutely horrible. No compassion, no empathy, no nothing. And I understand that it was probably a frustrating moment for her because, everyone, it was a long line. I apologize for that, ma'am, but you chose this line of work. I did not. So no flights. Look at trains. The train had left at 3:40 p.m. So while I was still in the customs line, the train was leaving. Uber was like $500. Absolutely not. I look at my kids was like, okay, rent a car. So I go to the rent a car station. I ask, I need a car one way, Rochester, New York. Okay. He looked at, what size car do you need? I don't care what size, as long as it's a gas car. Don't give me no electric car. And I just need to get home. He was like, okay, this is going to be the amount. This is going to be the deposit, which you'll get back in 3 to 5 days. Got you. Here's my passport. Here's my credit card. Ma'am, we need your driver's license. Sir, I was out the country. I have my passport. Can I show you a picture of my driver's license? He was like, no. If it's a New York driver's license, we actually have to scan it. Once again, baby Jack's body, my whole body was in flames. And I'm like, no, once again, focus. You are safe. You are in control. You got this. All right. What are my options? Okay. Couldn't catch a train. What about a bus? I look at a Greyhound bus. Perfect. There was a bus leaving at 8:45 p.m. By this time, it's probably like 5:30, close to like 5:45. I catch an Uber. I bought the bus ticket. I catch an Uber, which was like a 15-minute drive. I walk into Newark Penn Station and oh my God, when I tell you the horrible smell of that place, like it was smells that I've never smelled in my entire life. I'm not even sure how to explain it. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I have to sit here for 3 hours. How am I going to do this? I remember that I have a friend that lives in Newark, New Jersey. So I called her and I'm like, how far are you from Penn Station? She was like, I live about 10 minutes away, but I'm not there. I'm out of town. She was like, why? What are you doing there? So quickly chatted with her. And I'm like, oh my gosh. Okay, Lord, please just temporarily make the smells go away. Make my nose stop working because I don't know if I can do this for 3 hours. And then on top of that, there were no outlets. So my phone was at 35%. And again, I had about 3 hours to wait for the bus to come. So I'm trying to ask people at like different stores, different shops, if I can charge my phone. And they were like, I'm sorry, we can't. There's cameras watching. Thankfully, there was one gentleman at one location, which I'm not going to say what location because I don't want him to get in trouble. He did let me use my phone to charge my phone. And he was like, just come back in 5 minutes. Sir, I'm not leaving my phone. I understand you're doing me a favor, but no, I'm just going to pretend that I'm looking at stuff to buy and I'm going to grab my phone in 5 minutes. So I actually end up buying a few things. But yeah, so I got my phone, which was charged at that point to probably like 45%. So I updated the kids. I updated my husband. I turned my phone off because I wanted to preserve my battery until I got on the bus. Fast forward, 8:40, I go outside, the bus comes, I get on the bus. I was right behind the driver's seat. There was another young lady sitting in the row with me, the first row. She got off in Binghamton. So then I had to roll by myself. This man, when I tell you, so the bus came at 8:45. We were supposed to arrive in Rochester at 3:23 in the morning. When we get to Syracuse, he's like, we have to wait here for about 40 minutes because I am way ahead of schedule and I have some people to pick up. Sir, can you call them and just tell them to get here because you're early? He starts laughing. He's like, no, I wish I could, but we just have the number of people we're picking up and the names, not like contact information. Thankfully, the people got there early, so we got on the bus and we left. This man was flying, okay? Thankfully, we made it to Rochester safely with no issues at 2:20 in the morning. This man, again, was flying, and I'm all for it because I wanted to hurry up and get home. So I text James, or I called James. I told him where I was at, that the bus got there. He was like, wait, it's only 2:20. I know, babe, I know. This man was driving. He wanted to get your sweetie home to you, so come pick me up. Get there, James comes, picks me up, get home. He gives me the biggest bear hug. Reminded me of when we first met during our first date, when he gave me a big old bear hug, and I knew he was the one. Get home, took the longest hot shower ever. Drank some tea because I needed to just relax. And I just thank God. I thank God, thank the universe, thank Source, thank my ancestors, thank grandmother Ayahuasca for the transformation, for the healing, for the traveling mercies, for the growth. And I just, reflect and thinking if I'm ready to do this again. There's a lot that I'm still processing, which I will get into at another episode. Before we wrap up, what I want to leave you with is that learn to be gentle with yourself. Sometimes, we have goals, we have things that we want to accomplish, we have a plan, we have, ideas of the way things ought to go, but there's bigger and greater beyond you that know better. And for whatever reason, my flight was delayed leaving Rochester during the beginning of the trip. For whatever reason, my flight was canceled out of Newark to Rochester, that instead of flying, I ended up catching the bus. And here's the bigger kicker. Monday morning, when I woke up, I texted my older son and I said, hey, if you need a ride, let me know because I can take you because I'm awake. And I got to bring you your stuff anyways that I got you and the girls from Costa Rica. He said, yeah, pick me up. So I travel with a specific wallet where I only take either one or two credit cards, my debit card that I'm going to be using, and cash, and for my chapstick and stuff like that. So I'm moving the stuff from that wallet to my regular wallet. Take the first card out, put it in a slot. Take the second card out, and I'm like, what is this? There was something behind that credit card. Guess what was behind it? My driver's license. I have no idea why. I have no idea how, because whenever I leave the country, I do not take my driver's license with me. I always carry just my passport. So when I leave the resort or whatever, when I was in Costa Rica, it was in my wallet the whole time because we weren't during tourist stuff. We were just in the retreat center. So yes, my driver's license was there, so I could have rented a car and driven myself and gotten home way before 2:00 in the morning. Or, so I like to think, because again, for whatever reason, God, Source, the universe, my ancestors, grandmother Ayahuasca did not want me to know that my driver's license was there. They did not want me driving. So it all worked out. It all worked out. So just be gentle with yourself. When things go wrong, really pause and ask yourself, what is the greater lesson here? What am I supposed to learn in this moment? And just remind yourself that you are safe. If you are not in physical danger, you are safe. If you have resources, you are safe. If you have resources, you have options. If you have a cell phone with service and juice, you have options. And that's what I just kept on reminding myself. You are safe. You have options. What can you control? And what you cannot control, let it go because it is not serving you. So that for you folks is my journey before and after ayahuasca, before Costa Rica. And I'm still learning, I'm still processing the things that were revealed to me during my sittings, which I will get to at a later episode. And remember, your healing is your responsibility, but you don't have to do it alone. Follow me on social media at Maryann Rivera-Dannert, and be sure to visit MaryannRivera-Dannert.com to access free resources, coaching programs, and learn more about the events at the Healing Her Studio in Rochester, New York. I will see you here next time. Have a beautiful day.